great players, they have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders offense struggled tremendously on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills, and one of the biggest keys for the Raiders to get going on offense was I thought they were going to need another wide receiver besides Davante Adams to step up for this team, especially with the absence of Jacoby Myers due to his concussion protocol. In the first game, he had 9 catches for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we're going to have somebody step up and try to fill that void when it comes to production inside the wide receiver group. And the next expected guy up on the list was slot wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. We thought he would be the guy that could potentially get going for the Las Vegas Raiders in this game. Renfrow, unfortunately though, only had 1 catch in garbage time, and the game before that he had 0 catches and was only on the field for 13 total snaps. So needless to say, it's pretty worrying thus far when it comes to Hunter Renfrow, a guy who a couple years ago had over 1,000 receiving yards. Now I do understand that part of the reason why he had such a dominant season that year was because we really didn't have very many options at the wide receiver group that year. But regardless, Hunter Renfrow is still a much better wide receiver than what his production has been for the Raiders in the last 2 games. So what's going on with Hunter Renfrow? Is Jimmy G just not looking his way? Is he not getting open? Is it the play calling? Look, I just wanted to make a quick film breakdown video to show you guys what exactly happened with Hunter Renfrow last Sunday and why he was essentially non-existent for the Raiders last game. Now right here we can see Hunter Renfrow's in man-to-man coverage. He's able to create 0 separation, and Davante Adams just had the single coverage look, so Jimmy G was of course going to go his way on that one. Here Hunter Renfrow runs an out route, and Jimmy G does look his way, but he chooses the check down route to Josh Jacobs instead, which was the correct read. Now right here, Hunter Renfrow was running free across the middle. It's still not the easiest throw though, because Jimmy G does have to throw this over the linebackers, and he also has to put enough zip on it before the safety comes down and make a play on it. But I would have liked Jimmy Garoppolo to be more aggressive here and take this type of shot instead of just checking it down. I'm not sure also if part of this is because Jimmy Garoppolo just isn't fully comfortable in the offense. Is it because he hasn't really built that connection and rapport between him and a guy like Hunter Renfrow? Look, whatever it is, to me this was a missed opportunity from the Raiders offense. Now Hunter Renfrow right here lines up out wide, and I just don't like the type of routes Josh McDaniels has him running, these deep vertical routes. It really doesn't suit Hunter Renfrow's skill sets in my opinion, especially since when you look at Hunter Renfrow physically as a player, he's not the fastest wide receiver, he's not the biggest wide receiver, so I don't necessarily love that. Here Hunter Renfrow runs a deep out route, and he's able to create 0 separation once again. But even if he was able to get open, Jimmy G was forced to step up and essentially attack the other side of the football, so I don't think he was going to get the ball either way. Once again, Josh McDaniels has Hunter Renfrow running a deep vertical route towards the end zone, but the play is blown up before it really even gets a chance to develop down the field. Now here we get Renfrow running more of the shorter to intermediate type of routes I think he's more suited for, but he doesn't create any separation, and the pressure from the Buffalo Bills defensive line also causes Jimmy Garoppolo to just get this ball out quickly. Once again, a deep vertical route by Hunter Renfrow. Not sure why we have him running this so much. And on the very next play, same type of vertical deep route concept for Hunter Renfrow. Now here they switch it up a little bit with Hunter Renfrow. He's going to try to sell the move inside on this route and eventually go to the outside, but once again he gets locked up on this rep. Hunter Renfrow does get open right here, but Jimmy Garoppolo throws it quickly to his first read, Davante Adams. Another deep route here by Hunter Renfrow, but Jimmy Garoppolo just wasn't aggressive enough in this game to take these type of shots. Now here, Jimmy Garoppolo is finally able to connect with Hunter Renfrow deep across the middle, but this was in garbage time, so really it was too little too late for the Las Vegas Raiders at this point, and it had zero impact on the game. So from what we've seen on tape when it comes to Hunter Renfrow, to me there's a combination of things that are going on with Hunter Renfrow. First and foremost, I really don't like the overall play calling when it comes to the selection of the routes that Hunter Renfrow has been running. When you have a guy like Hunter Renfrow running in a straight line and in all these type of deep vertical routes 80% of the time, then you would think he's a very speedy and a physically imposing type of wide receiver that could potentially win those type of matchups and can be a legitimate deep threat. The problem is Hunter Renfrow physically isn't anything special, but where I think Hunter Renfrow really excels in is the short to intermediate routes in open space, where he can use his route running ability to his advantage to get open, and also give him a little bit of freedom to get creative in his routes, you know, run certain option routes for him across the middle. Also with Hunter Renfrow, he's a smart wide receiver who can adapt and change his routes if Jimmy Garoppolo gets pressure and he's forced to scramble. If the play quickly is converted into the scramble drill, I think Hunter Renfrow is a guy who can do very well in those type of situations. And he's also a smart wide receiver in the fact that he can find the soft spots in zone coverage. But right now, more times than not, I'm seeing Hunter Renfrow just run these deep vertical routes, which it's kind of a waste to me. So I would like Josh McDaniels to be a little bit more creative in his play calls and have Hunter Renfrow run more plays that suit his strengths on offense. Like, I do like Hunter Renfrow running some deep, vertical routes here and there, but to have him running these so frequently, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. You also add the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo thus far in 2 weeks isn't really throwing the deep ball thus far, and this translates to practically zero production from Hunter Renfrow. But on the other hand, I will say, even when Hunter Renfrow ran these shorter type of routes, a couple of times, he was locked up and he was not able to create any real separation. And that's a problem too. Hunter Renfrow, when he does get those opportunities, he does have to take advantage and be able to create that separation when he gets that man-to-man coverage, because Jimmy Garoppolo is just not going to throw it to him if he hasn't created some type of separation, especially when you got wide receivers like Davante Adams in the field. If you're going to throw it to anybody that has tight coverage, you might as well throw it to a superstar receiver like Davante Adams, who can just make spectacular plays even when the defender has good coverage on him. Now, when it comes to Hunter Renfrow too, at the beginning of the offseason, I really thought Hunter Renfrow's days were numbered here in the silver and black, and I thought there was a good possibility that the Raiders were going to move on from him. The Raiders front office decided to keep him, so I was optimistic that Josh McDaniels maybe had a plan for him moving forward in this offense, but so far in these 2 games, I don't like what we've seen from him. And if the Raiders keep it up, in my opinion, we're just wasting a talent like Hunter Renfrow. And most importantly too, we're wasting valuable cap space that could have been used on the defensive side of the football, which is a major need for this team, especially the defensive line. Hunter Renfrow is getting paid approximately $13 million per year, and for him to only have 1 catch in 2 games is a massive waste for the Las Vegas Raiders. So really, let's hope that either Josh McDaniels can find a way to get him more involved in the offense, which could lead to our offense just being that much more explosive and dominant. And look, if they can't do that, if Hunter Renfrow just isn't a fit for this offense, then they need to move on from him, just plain and simple, and try to get something out of him. And eventually you can maybe use that money in the future towards the defense. Now, unfortunately for the situation, I don't think Hunter Renfrow, in terms of draft capital, you're going to be able to get very much from him. But like I said, at the very least, you can free up cap space to invest that in the defense in the future. But at the same time, I'm also getting a little bit ahead of myself. I don't want to say that Hunter Renfrow is on his way out, but I'm just saying, if we can't use Hunter Renfrow correctly, then we should move on from him, in my opinion. But as I said, let's hope Josh McDaniels can just in general open up the offense moving forward, because I think the blueprint has been out there. There's been a lot of things that the Raiders have struggled with. There's a lot of things that these opposing defenses have done to neutralize this offense. And Josh McDaniels, if he's this offensive guru he claims to be, he's going to have to adjust and combat against this. And I will say, I still believe this offense has a lot of potential to be very good, but we do have a lot of things to clean up before we get to that point. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys thought of the video in the comment section down below. Anybody that's new, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.